Sketchbook Tour. So, where was I? This is from my last sketchbook. I think I was up to here. And this was, what was this? Oh, this is from the Face Your Fears webtoon idea I was thinking of doing. I think this is the angel hair bunny that I was also thinking of doing as well. Completely unrelated, never mind. I guess it wasn't about this. This was more drawings of Fail to Abandon the Villain, which is the manhwa scene redraw, and I essentially kind of did it with my own yandere harem story OCs. So initially this is Valita from Fail to Abandon the Villain, but I made her Kyo, which is my OC, and then here's Reinhold, which is strongly influenced my Rainer OC. These words probably make no sense whatsoever, but also I think even without context, I find the drawings really pretty. And this is also in one of my speed paints, I think. Also, if anyone knows how to like not get the pencils smear across each other, because I just keep on putting pieces of paper in between, and it's really annoying. Okay, so this over here was, I think, me trying to plan out like a first chapter on one of my webtoon ideas. So this is from Face Your Fear, so this is the first panel, I believe. I don't know why this one says number 3, because where's number 2? But this is like, I think this is her getting like sucked into the computer as like the opening sequence of a kind of like a dream that she's having. This is a chibi post-it of Rainer, my OC, which is again strongly influenced by Fail to Abandon the Villain. And then I got into the Shire and reading about Lord of the Rings stuff, so I decided to just kind of test out some new mediums, and I tried coloring it very briefly in colored pencil. And then this is also more Kyo lore for her kind of weird. I don't even remember where I got this quote from. I think it might have been from Tumblr. So it's this kind of quote, and kind of I was experimenting with highlighters and pens to kind of give that kind of I guess religious church imagery. Kind of making her as a martyr, and just kind of saying that how she has to go through these time loops in my story, and kind of if you know ReZero or Suicide Class Hunter, it's kind of that type of premise where she has to die over and over to save everyone. So I thought that quote fit. This is more Face Your Fears lore. So in Face Your Fears, I wanted to have this dude. I don't know his name yet. I just wanted someone that had orange hair and acted kind of like a rascal. So I thought like the Weasleys from Harry Potter, and also I thought of Ouran High School Host Club. So I drew him. I don't like his facial expression, but I do like kind of the green background and kind of how I drew his hair. I just don't like his facial expression. And then I've had another OC named Kai, also influenced by Kai from the Your Turn to Die visual novel. So I have Kai, who's also in my yandere harem story. So this girl, and this is kind of them interacting with each other, and I think it's her calming him down from like a panic attack. But for some reason, I also watched Alien Romulus during this time, and I used the dialogue there for some reason. I think because the android reminded me of Kai a little bit in the way that he spoke. Which I thought was cool. And then over here, I actually really like this one. So this is basically more Face Your Fears content. This is Elliot. Yes, I remember my OCs. This is the main character, and it was kind of like him kind of holding her up because she's scared of a worm. And if any of you know the Magnus Archives, you know how scary the worms are in that podcast. So hopefully you kind of get what I mean. I really like how I drew the main character here, and I think Elliot's kind of like floofy hair and kind of like simplistic art style was really cool. This also killed my highlighter because I tried having more color in my drawings, because as you can tell, most of them are black and white, and it is something that I definitely want to work on improving. I think I was kind of on a roll with these. Yeah, I was like, damn, I was really doing good with these drawings. Then here is more Face Your Fears content. This is the main character's dad before he dyes his hair. So this is the kind of black hair, and this is the main character, the daughter, the father type of imagery. Yeah, again, I was trying to experiment with a little bit of color. This is more Regressor's yandere harem content. Here's Rainer, and here's Kyo. This is also, I think, was a digital speed paint thing that I did a while back. I actually like the first one a little bit more. I think the coloring turned out better, but you know what? again, I'll take whatever I can get, because I think I still did pretty well. This is some stickers and stuff. So we've got hamburgers, Kirby, and for some reason I drew Miku. I don't know why I drew Miku. I feel like a lot of sketchbook tours have like an obligatory Miku sketch, so I tried adding her. I kind of messed up on the pen because it smudged the colors a lot, but you know. And I also drew a OC from my Scream kind of like slasher horror story. It was just basically a girl with like, I wanted Harry Potter glasses, like very round glasses, and essentially 2 braids. And I thought, you know who looks like that? Taku Fukawa from Danganronpa. So I kind of drew that with pen, and I used basically back pen to kind of give her a distinct art style, and I really like it. I think it's cool. This is, okay, so this is more Regressors Yandere harem stuff, except that I imagined Rainer as, I forgot her name. It's been a while since I watched Dungeon Meshi, but the cat girl, I think she's really cute. So this, I think, is a reference to Marcel and the cat girl. So this was kind of the main character taking care of him when he's, I guess, wants head pats. And I combined this with how, I think, is it Izazumi? I'm sorry, I don't know the pronunciation. I forgot her name. But basically, I know that a lot of people applauded the Dungeon Meshi creator for having these really cool like cat-like expressions, and I think I referenced you know those like crying cat memes. So I just did that for Rainer and the main character kind of washing his hair, fixing it. Technically he's a werewolf, but you know, close enough with the cat imagery. This was me briefly entering like a very quick, I guess, not really a furry, but like anthropomorphic phase, and then completely going off into a completely different tangent over here. This is very inspired by Akechi Goro from Persona 5, and my kind of Akechi OC. I don't know what his name is. I don't know if it's going to be Avery or something, but an OC very inspired by Akechi. And here's some, I guess, drawings of him, and also kind of how I would want my OC to look like. And kind of a rivalry thing going on with Kyo, and she is kind of having her sword and a little bit reluctant to fight, even though he's definitely has some type of enemies to lovers, rivals thing going on with her. I also was interested because I was trying to figure out how to draw swords, because I know in history the ways different people hold swords is different depending on like your culture, you know, the way you were taught and stuff like that. And I was trying to reference like as opposed to like European ways, like maybe like Asian or like Chinese ways that people have held swords in the past. And I was also trying to reference Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, just because I think the way all the Star Wars characters hold their lightsabers is very like distinctive. So I was kind of looking into that. And then this is like, I just wanted something. I don't even know what I wanted. I just put like the remaining washi tape I had. I had a mochi cut out, and then a bunch of Kirby stickers and some other miscellaneous stickers. And then this is more you can tell I was really cooking with all the colors. Here's Kyo in kind of like a black dress, and the bottom where she's kind of turning her back, but the beads are kind of like a rope. And then here's Akechi again, I guess being in denial that he has feelings for anyone, especially her. I don't know what this is. This is more, so I was planning to make this digital, and then I think I forgot, but maybe I will someday. But basically this is Kyo and her younger sister. I don't know her name yet. It might be Petra. But I actually really like the clothing that they were wearing. I thought it was really cute, because usually I can't be bothered to draw clothing on anyone. Usually just like a literal rectangle. But I thought planning out their designs was really cute, and I wanted her to have kind of like a force to wear this, but it's mostly black versus her where it's very brightly pink. I do like her expression. I don't like hers. I just don't think I did it justice. And I think the weird kind of like very aggressive growling doesn't have that kind of oomph that I wanted to have. Kind of the same problem that I had, if I can find it. It kind of had the same problem that I did with the Face Your Fears dude, the Oron. If I could flip through all the computer paper. This dude, where like I like how the hair looks, I like the face, I just don't like the facial expression. And I think I had kind of the same problem of trying to draw that like feral, you know, they're gonna snap type of expression. And you could tell I was definitely struggling with that. But yeah, I also don't know how I drew the knees. I don't know what's going on there. More Alien Romulus stuff. I think I was inspired by a picture from Instagram. I'm not sure which one. If I find it, I'll list it in the description or something. But I just think they're cool. I can't draw them well. I just think they're cool though. I don't know what that paper was. This is more Lord of the Rings inspired. So I want part of my Yandere harem story to take a lot of magic inspirations from things like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Freeran. I think those are all really interesting kind of magic world building aspects. And so I was thinking of having two, I guess, like grandpa wizards kind of serve as Kyo's mentors. And so I was trying to learn how to draw realistically, and I was like, man, this is really hard. I don't know how to draw old men realistically. So I kind of drew the main character, and she's holding her staff that I'm really conflicted on trying to figure out what type of staff to give her, because I want it to be really distinctive. Hair. And so this is basically the scene that I was planning to write out, where like they would Kyo and one of her teachers is kind of drinking tea while watching the other teacher try to like unlock the door of magic, and it takes the entire night. This is a storyboard based on a bunch of post-its from my home safety hotline animatic. It hasn't come out yet. I'm still editing it because I don't know how to edit properly. But yeah, this is kind of like the flow from left to right. This is very like bare bones. You can tell I was writing this in pen because I didn't want this to be like me, you know, redoing things over and over. So I didn't want to do it in pencil, because I feel like with pen you kind of are forced to do it a lot faster and make it more spontaneous. What is this? I think it's just me trying to do like those daily journal things where like you try to draw something that happened in your life. This, I think, was inspired by a real-life event where I felt very isolated and lonely, and I felt very sad in the auditorium, and I kind of drew this, like, Bocce the Rock sitting in the auditorium alone. I should have colored it pink so it looks more like Bocce, but I just was too lazy. And then, randomly, I was like, hey, this is a good social anxiety scene to depict in my Face Your Fears story. And I was like, wow. Who knew a real-life depression would actually serve as a catalyst for a story event? I don't know what this is. Oh, so basically in my, I also wanted to do this digitally. Oh man, it's such a good drawing. I did not really finish. But basically what I wanted to do was that I wanted to have Akechi, or whoever this guy's name is, I still don't know his name. Basically, Akechi kind of had that enemies to rivalries thing with Kyo, and he thinks that he killed her, even though she kind of knew he was going to kill him, and she did like a fake out death and all that jazz. And it's him like having like hallucinations, thinking that he killed her, and that kind of whole drama ensuing. So this was her, like when you see her with like her eyes aren't that visible, or there's like visible blood dripping down her forehead, that's probably like the hallucination version that he's thinking of. Like he feels so guilty, but he's also so in denial that he basically has nightmares every single night, in denial that, like, you know, he actually cared for her when he quote unquote killed her, even though he's trying to hide his own feelings. So here's Akechi. This is please focus, sorry. This is from notebook paper, and then I just glued it on to like kind of make it pop out a little more, but it lays pretty flat. And then I put just red paper in the background, and then I had kind of this hallucination main character, hallucination Kyo, kind of try to tell him like, oh, it's not your fault, and Akechi's in denial, choking her out. And then I like was looking into like sleep paralysis stuff, and I kind of had the idea of like, oh, maybe in one of his nightmares, he's imagining her like on top of him, not in a sexy way either, but like her on top of him, and kind of like smothering him in his sleep. This is more Kyo lore, Kyo trauma dump. This is also I don't know why there's so many quotes that I find on Tumblr that are like, huh, that's kind of a banger. Anyway, here's her, and then this is kind of like more about every version of the story ends with you being slaughtered, because I think it fits because she's in that whole time loop trying to save everyone, dying in the process. Typical like ReZero type of plots. This was me drawing the kind of background props for the home safety hotline animatic that's going to come out eventually someday, I hope. And because basically I have so much trouble drawing digital because I I'm just not used to it, so I have to draw traditional with black and white and then maybe try to color it in or edit small things digitally for now. This is based, I think it's just event posted, but the character that I drew is basically, I think, a My Hero Academia OC I have that was also very inspired hairstyle wise by Kagome from Inuyasha. So you know, you see that a lot. I also really like these like simplistic eyes where it's, you know, just essentially a black circle, because they remind me a lot of the like Amori art style. This is more Home Safety Hotline. I had to draw the background where like this monster is gonna come in the bathroom, and the dude's gonna be like pleading for his life on the side. This is more post-its to myself, I think. I don't know what these post-its are. Oh, they were like reminders to myself, but I ran out of space on my desk. I was like, you know what, I'll just put them in my notebook and I'll deal with it later, and then I never dealt with it. So here's some Kirby stickers as well. Ooh, I really like this one. So this is the traditional drawing that I did. Basically, I had a drawing where I think this was inspired by Persona 4 fan art on Instagram, but I can't remember it. But this is Kyo, and essentially I wanted her sword to be reflected Akechi shooting her. So I would draw this, and then I would take this picture, put it in Cam Scanner, which I use to scan pictures, and then I would put it on her sword. So that was me kind of trying to blend traditional with digital. And I think you might see this if I ever release a video about S-Class and making a Christmas present for someone. You'll see this as one of the drawings that I printed out, because I was really proud of how it looked. But I just think I kind of cooked with the way I drew Kyo. I think she's really cute. And this is, what do you say, little lamb? Is that what I wrote? I think it's another one-liner from Tumblr. I swear to God, there's so many one-liners from Tumblr. I think it was, yeah, I had no idea what it was from. And then these two pictures are from a story arc idea that I have, or these three pictures actually, it's from a story arc idea that I have with Angst, where Rainer pretty much kills her. I mean, she kills herself, but she delivered the final blow, but you know, it's trauma. This whole story is just trauma. Very inspired because this was around the time that Omniscient Reader Viewpoint, they did some more Webtoon chapters came out, so I read it up to date on Webtoon, and they started introducing the Demon King of Salvation, and I got really inspired by that arc, so I drew something like that. I think my palms were just sweaty, and I just drew a post-it of that. What's next? Ooh, so this is when I got into my Harry Potter phase. So I tried watching the first two movies, then I got bored, and then I watched the Harry Potter video game playthroughs, and I got really into it. That actually happened first before I watched the movies. Got really into the video game, and then watched the two movies, and then I was like, I'm kind of bored of the movies. So I started watching video essays about people talking about, like, the things that were good in Harry Potter, but also the things that, like, you know, could have been improved upon. So I had some fun with those ideas, and here's Kyo and Rainer walking through kind of like a wand shop and kind of exploring like the Harry Potter like school. I don't know. I know Harry Potter gets popular because like, oh, it's like the magic like fantasy-ness of it, of going to school. I'm just gonna be real. I don't feel that fun when I go to school. In the past, like, you know, I never felt that magical whimsy feeling, but I think it's just because it's a magic school, you know, it's cool and all. Kirby stickers. This is inspired by a Miku comic I saw on Twitter. But here's Rainer, because in her regressions, Kyo has to die essentially to reset everything by one day in the past. And so Rainer kind of seeing Kyo essentially hang herself in order to save someone in the past would be probably traumatizing for him, even if he doesn't remember it, because time gets reset. So I drew a little bit of that, and I like this paneling that I did because I usually don't draw like boxes around. So I thought it was cool. There's a lot going on here. I really like this spread just because of how like chaotic it is. And that was, I think this page is when I was really like, you know what, I'm just gonna be cringe and free. I'm gonna put whatever I want. Here was more kind of storyboard paneling ideas for that Harry Potter arc I have, where it was Kyo kind of fighting this like blue dragon on top of a roof in the dark, and it's raining, and kind of that dark night raining imagery I thought of a lot from Jurassic World when you fight the Indoraptor. I don't know, just the dark night and the rain shining reminds me a lot of that kind of vibe. I want to save the sticker for like a Five Nights at Freddy's fan art, but I never drew it, so I just stuck it in here. And mood, I don't know what it's for. I think just because like I just wanted to draw something, so I just wrote I yearn. And then this is me realizing, hey, I'm never gonna be famous, so technically that means I can draw whatever I want. And that's just me calling for realization. I think this is me talking about these two posts were talking about how you see how this like journal is very big, as opposed to the newer journal that I'm gonna have, which is this. It's kind of the same, actually. Oh my god, it's almost the same size, but it's a little bit smaller, and so it makes me feel a little bit less conspicuous or conscious of the fact that I'm drawing, because I feel very embarrassed when I draw, mostly because I don't really have a room to myself quite yet, and I don't feel that private. So I was talking about how I feel like even though I really love this journal, and the paper thickness is one of the thickest I've ever had, which is super good because I hate ghosting, the large size has also made it very hard for me to feel comfortable drawing in this, because I feel like I have to fill the spread with something. So hopefully I want to try to find a happy medium where I have a, you know, decently sized notebook, but paper thickness is also what I desire, and I don't feel uncomfortable or, you know, feel embarrassed or put on the spot to draw. Also, I got into mouthwashing, and this is not related to mouthwashing at all, but I had a robot OC idea for a fix-it fic for mouthwashing. There literally does not relate anything at all to mouthwashing. There is no like R2D2 like robot. There is no robot in that game, but I think it would be cool. So the brain rot that I had about a robot for some reason was like, you know, what's going on? Not related at all, but you know what, whatever. This is me. Oh, this is me planning out the drawing that I did here. So I had like a YouTuber persona, Usona, I don't know what they're called. And basically me just realizing, hey, you know, if I'm never gonna be famous, if I'm never gonna do art full time, then that just means I can do whatever I want, right? So I can just draw whatever I want. I think the spread kind of reflects that imagery. And then right after that, I was like, I kind of want to get finished with this journal because it's so big and I want to move on to the next one. So I drew Sebastian Solis from Pressure. And you know what? Considering I never drew him literally at all, I'm kind of proud of this. I don't like the tail because it reminds me more of a whale than like real Sebastian's tail. But I really like this beginning. And I remembered at the last moment, oh yeah, he has a third arm. So there was that. This is, I'm not super proud of these spreads because I realized that I felt like I was kind of rushing near the end because I wanted to get it done, but there was still a pretty decent amount of pages left. But then I realized that, you know what? Hey, guess what? I don't actually have to finish. I can just leave a couple of pages blank and it'll still be okay if I ever want to draw something of this scale, you know? So anyway, here's Kyo readying, like, I think a glove, and she's about to pound someone. I think this is her when she's defending Kai, which is the OC that you saw. If the camera would focus and it wouldn't shake like there was an earthquake. I don't think I can find it. I want to skip like 10 seconds ahead, man. I don't know what's going on. I wish I could flip through this a little bit better. But anyway, how's your day going? As I continuously flip through, I hope it's been going well. At the time of filming, it's been Christmas. I'm just gonna say it's been Christmas. And I hope your holidays are well. Or like Christmas time for me, but like it's just winter, just cold. So this one was Kai, right? The OC Kai. So I think when he was being threatened or assaulted by Petra, which is the pink girl that we saw before. Petra, if you could show up, please. Yeah, so basically Kai was being insulted by her, and this is her, Kyo, kind of coming to his defense and punching her daylights out, essentially. This is based off the manhwa Can I Ask for One Last Thing, or Can I Ask for One Final Thing? I haven't gotten that far, but I just like the poses of her kind of like, you know, kicking ass and beating people up. So just another one of that. Initially I wanted to do a drawing where I had a paper cutout of like someone holding this yellow ticket and saying like, you hold the ticket to, I don't know, the universe or the answers or whatever. And I got bored. But maybe someday, because I still have it here. Oh yeah. So this was the colored printed out version of the drawing from before. When I did it on Procreate, the color is supposed to be like a dark purple. It looks kind of blue when I printed it out, but that was, I guess, just me learning about different color schemes and stuff. Is that the last page? It's the last page. Okay. However, I do have this one, and this is kind of my new sketchbook, so you'll probably see this in the next sketchbook tour whenever it comes out. Let me try to scroll through some stuff. So here was like my first page. I don't know how everything else is gonna go, but you know, here's Rainer and Nancy. Very inspired by Yubo from Freerun, but I want to make kind of an OC based on her too. And this is more Kai, and Kyo Trauma. This is the pinks, not pink, Petra. The girl wearing pink, and him kind of hallucinating that it's Kyo hugging him when in reality it's her. But lore, who knows? I am not going to explain this. I'm just gonna say I want to draw my OCs in like a My Little Pony AU. I'm going to close the video. Bye.